Thank you for joining our virtual festival. I'm Sandy Campbell.
And I'm his faithful sidekick, Larry Hay.
We'll be your virtual MCs today. We're going to see a little of everything today.
Hey, wait a minute, Sandy. When you say see a little of everything, exactly what do you mean? I mean, we've all heard those stories about men in their kilts. We're not going to see any of that stuff, are we? And when you say a little of everything, have you been talking about Al again?
Larry, enough of that. Hey, although we'd rather be together in person, we hope you'll enjoy this virtual presentation.
Yeah, it's exactly like being there, but it's only different. You'll virtually enjoy virtually being at our virtual festival, and it's going to be virtually amazing, really.
Well, you stay tuned after the airing of this program for the full video of last year's 56th annual Colorado Scottish Festival midday ceremony.
Hi, I'm Heather Cronkite, Chieftain of the St. Andrews Society of Colorado, and I'm here to welcome you to our 2020 Colorado Scottish Festival virtually. The festival committee did not want to miss an opportunity for our community to gather and enjoy what we love most about our heritage. With our ever-changing times, everything in 2020 seems to be a learning curve, and that did not come easy. The festival took many hours of hard work and dedication. I would like to thank our Virtual Games Committee for the work you do behind the scenes all year long. To the St. Andrews Society Council for your help and guidance throughout the year. Sally Reed and Heather Miller for their hours of work on applying for grants. SCFD for the grant awards. The City of Edgewater for the meeting rooms throughout the year and field space for taping. Lindsay Baker for designing our festival logo every year. Sandy Campbell and Larry Hay for being our MCs extraordinaire. Charlie Sherwood for organizing the virtual whiskey tasting. And Buzz Dubkowski for leading the virtual tasting. Catherine Chrysler, Dirk Muse, and Glendon Muse for their many hours of video editing to make this virtual event possible. Sam McGuire of the College of Arts of Media at the University of Colorado, Denver for your work on the 360 videos. Sabrina Hattar and Art Augie for running our festival's social media and keeping the website up to date. And thank you to all of you. We received about 50 videos to make this virtual event possible. Thank you for supporting the games and the St. Andrews Society every year. We can't do it without you. I hope you enjoy the presentation. Don't forget to stick around for a special playback of the 2019 Festival Midday Ceremonies, a cooking demonstration from Chef Eric McBride. If you signed up for the whiskey tasting, thank you for your support, and I know you'll have a great time. We hope to present more virtual opportunities throughout the year, so watch our website and our Facebook pages. And now, I declare the 57th Colorado Festival Virtual Games open.
Join with me, if you will, for a prayer of blessing for its Colorado Scottish Festival. Almighty God, Creator and lover of all humanity, we bless your name this day. You are the God of heaven and earth, of the sea and of the rivers, the God of the sun and of the moon, and of all the stars, the God of lofty mountains and lowly valleys. We ask your blessing, O Lord, this day, and particularly on this virtual Scottish festival. Bless all the folks who have gathered to enjoy this unique and special event. May we experience the joy of coming together to celebrate our Scottish heritage and the many ways it is expressed. Bless all those who have worked creatively to make our festival technically possible. Those who have participated through music, dance, athletics, poetry, clans, clan history, the Wren Scots, dogs, and British cars. May your presence, dear Lord, be real to each of us. Your grace be sufficient for us, and may your peace fill us today and throughout all these difficult times. In Jesus' name, amen.
Greetings, friends, and thank ye for asking me to come and say a few words about our virtual Scottish festival. I thought this would be a wonderful time for me to recite one of my wee poems for ye. So, sit back, have yourself a wee dram of John Barleycorn as I recite To a Moose on Turning Up Her Nest with the Plough. Wee slicket cowering timorous beastie, oh what a panic's in thy breastie. I needna start away so hasty with bicker and prattle. I would be laid to run and chase thee with murder and battle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-bound companion and fellow mortal. I doubt no else but thou may thieve, but then, poor beastie, thou maun live. A Damon icker in the thrave's a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lave and never miss it. Thy wee bit housey too in ruin, its silly walls the winds are strewing, and nothing now to beg a new one. Oh, foggage green, and bleak December's winds ensuing, baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and wast, and weary winter coming fast, and cozy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. Thy wee bit hip leaves of stibble have cost thee money a weary nibble. Now those turned out for all thy tribble, but house and hold, to stow the winter's sleary dribble and cranach cold. But Mousey, thou art to thy lane, improving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang off the gley, and lay us naught but grief and pain for promised joy. Still, thou art blessed compared with me, the present only toucheth thee. But oh, I backward cast my eye on prospects dear, and forward, though I cannot see, I guess and fear. Well, I hope you enjoyed this wee poem, everyone. Enjoy the festival, and lassies, I'm still available.
Well, hey, let's take a look at some clips from the many videos that were submitted, starting with the athletes and clans. Now, you'll be able to view the full videos on the St. Andrews Society of Colorado YouTube channel. The link will be posted on the website.
Centuries ago, the Highland Games started by trying to find the best and bravest soldier that would be tested to find the best warrior, courier, or bodyguard for the clans in battle. A long time ago, the English sought to destroy the Highland culture, traditions, customs, and way of life. The English even banned the games, bagpipes, kilts, weapons, and the gatherings of the clan. So the Scots used what God gave them: a tree cut down in the forest, a stone smoothed down by the river, weights they would find at the market, bales of hay, and other things found around the farm. The Highland Games were more about war games and less entertainment. Over time, they became less militarized and more about having fun. Today, these athletes come together to be the best, not only for their clan, but for their friends, family, and spectators. The traditions live on. The caber is the most famous of the events of the Highland Games. This event came about as a means of transportation to get across a creek or a ravine. They would cut down a tree in the forest, stand it upright, pick it up, and toss it end over end across the ravine. They would do this several times, lash them together to create a quick bridge while traveling the country. Not only does this take power, balance, and agility, but it's more about timing and accuracy. The straighter the throw, the better the score. The sheaf toss is another unique event for the Highland Games. The sheaf is a simulated bale of hay thrown with a pitchfork over a crossbar. They get 3 opportunities to make it over the crossbar. They make it over, they'll automatically go on to the next height. This event started back on their farms. In the barns, they would have a loft to store the hay and feed with a small window for access. Instead of carrying all the hay and feed to the top with a ladder, they would grab a bale of hay with a pitchfork and throw it into the loft, aiming for the small window. I'm pretty sure whiskey was involved. The weight over the bar is as simple as its name. It's a rather heavy weight with a handle, most commonly used at the markets. It's thrown with one hand over a crossbar, and just like the sheaf toss, they get 3 opportunities at each height to make it over the crossbar, and if they do, they'll move on to the next height. The weight for distance, it sounds simpler than it is. They use another weight used at the markets with a longer handle. The heavyweight for distance is the heaviest of the distance events. It not only takes power, strength, timing, and balance, but they need to stay in bounds and behind the trig. The lightweight for distance is normally half the weight of the heavyweight for distance, but a little bit lighter, they can spin faster and throw the weight even further. Each competitor gets 3 opportunities to throw the light and heavyweight for distance. All throws are measured, and the longest is their score. Here's an example of the heavyweight for distance. Next is an example of the lightweight for distance. This is the stone put. Yes, the stone put, not shot put. This is a stone not perfectly round, has bumps and grooves, and takes a little bit of adjustment to find the perfect hand placement. First, we have the Braemar stone. This is the traditional stone put thrown from a standing position, where the athlete's not allowed to move forward or advance towards the trig. The Braemar stone is the heaviest of the stone competitions. Up next, we have the open stone. This is normally a little bit lighter of a stone than the Braemar stone, and the athletes are allowed to advance or move towards the trig. This is a little bit more of an Olympic-style stone put, where the athlete's allowed to glide, shuffle step, or spin to gain momentum towards the trig. Just like the other distance events, the athlete gets 3 attempts with each of the stones, and their longest throw is their score. This was the favorite event for Robert Burns, the famous Scottish poet. Last but not least, there's the hammer throw. There's the heavy and lightweight hammer thrown for distance. These are cannon shots converted for battle. Not many Scots had their own cannons, but there were plenty of cannon shots scattered across the land. They would drill a hole through the middle of the cannon shot and put a stick of rattan through it. This way, the Scots could use this for battle. Many athletes would put spikes on the front of their shoes to help give them leverage when throwing the hammer. This event not only takes power, speed, and stamina, but more importantly, flexibility to counterbalance the weight. The athlete again gets 3 attempts with the light and heavy hammer. All these competitors compete in 9 events in one day, and whomever is the best in every event is the champion. For more information on competitions, go to rmsa.org.
What do we got going on next, Larry?
Oh, so we asked some of the clans if they'd like to submit some videos about their clans and such. And, you know, actually this collection of videos we're going to show you is the best they could come up with. But no, really, there's really some cool stuff about all the clans. And so we thought we'd give you just a snippet of what the clans are all about. And there's about 150 clans altogether. And they all have really great stories and great histories and just lots of stories to tell. And so we just asked some of them to put some videos together. And this is what they sent us. So, you know, we're not vouching for anything at all here. But Sandy, I do see that the Hayes were too busy sampling whiskey to figure out how to work their video. So once again, we got nothing from the Hayes, but we do have some videos from some of the other clans.
Hello, all Celtophiles, lovers of all things Celtic. I'm Carolyn Elliott, Colorado Co-Commissioner of Clan Elliott. For the variety of spellings of Elliott, the clan version is E-L-L-I-O-T. Spelling was not standardized until the 1800s. In addition, people had their reasons for the spellings, as this little poem indicates humorously. The double L and single T, descent from Minto and Wolfley. The double T and single L mark the old race in Staubs that dwell. The single L and single T, the Elliots of St. Germains be. But double T, and double L, who they are, nobody can tell.
Hello, welcome to the Colorado headquarters of Clan Cochran in North America. It's also our home. I'm Thomas Cochran. My wife Karen Cochran is holding the camera, and we'll be doing a quick tour of our clan booth materials, or some of them anyway. We couldn't get all of them up, but wanted to show you a little bit about what we love to do at the festivals, and we're so sorry we're not going to be able to do it in person this year. So this is our quick virtual tour for the virtual Colorado Scottish Festival.
Make it last, 'cause we've all been loving some ways like the drinks in last night's glass. But they take this time to get out, let's not think about the end. Never mind the strangers, 'cause I'd always be your friend until the end. We've crossed the seas to get out. We've had our ups and downs. We've gone further than we ever dreamed for the county Galway town. And never up and top tomorrow, out of it all just stands. And never mind the strangers, 'cause I'll always be your friend until the end.
Hopefully we'll see you all in 2021. Please be safe, be happy. Sláinte everyone.
All right, so Highland dancers in the Rocky Mountain region have been very busy, even with everything canceled. Last weekend, our region hosted what would have been the national competition, but since Corona, they had other plans, and we actually really hosted an amazing virtual event fling called Fling Together 2020.
Hey, Sandy, since this is virtual, do we get to pick the winners? I mean, are we going to pick them? We're going to pick the winners, right? I mean, I used to be quite fleet-footed myself in my younger days. I don't know if you knew that or not about me.
Hey, we'll post a link to the video celebration so everyone can enjoy and get a little more Scottish dancing.
I'm really good at picking winners. If you want, I can do that.
Well, actually, I think our, if it's anything like the, the Bonnie Knees contest, might be a little, I don't know, there might be a little graft involved.
Highland Fling is likely the oldest of the traditional dances of Scotland. The Highland Fling signifies victory following a battle. The warriors made this dance a feat of strength and agility by dancing on their upturned shields, which had a sharp spike of steel projecting from the center. Dancers learned early to move with great skill and dexterity. Others say the Highland Fling was inspired by the sight of a deer prancing on a hillside. The upraised arms and hands in the dance represent the deer's antlers.
My name is Julia, and I'm going to be dancing the Highland Laddie for you. But first, I'm going to tell you the story of this dance. This dance was devised by soldiers during the First World War. It is always danced to the famous tune of the same name. This dance is also a tribute to the Highland Laddie, Bonnie Prince Charlie. Today, the Highland Laddie is often danced for honored guests at special occasions.
Hello everybody, I am Max Madassi and I like Highland dancing because I get to dance over swords. Very sharp ones like this.
This dance is called Blue Bonnets Over the Border. This is a very ballet-like dance which depicts a young woman trying to flirt and catch the attention of a blue bonnet. Blue bonnet was slang for Scotsmen, so named because of the blue hats they wore. The blue bonnets may also have been danced by the ladies as a farewell to the soldiers wearing the blue Glengarry bonnets. Is meant to portray an angry Irish washerwoman when she finds out some neighborhood boys have knocked all of her clean wash to the ground. Another version describes a woman who shakes her fist and flops with her skirt because she's furious with her husband who's been out drinking since the late hours of the night. The sailor's hornpipe. This dance requires strength and stamina to mimic and dance a variety of shipboard tasks, including swabbing the decks, climbing the ship's rigging, standing watch, and hauling rope. The hornpipe is danced in a British sailor's uniform, derived its name from the fact that usually the musical accompaniment played on a hornpipe rather than bagpipes.
Hey, I think you were starting to say something about us having some vendors.
Yeah. So, you know, Sandy, we have some really great vendors at our events every year, and they lug their stuff halfway across the country and set it all up for us at the festival just so that we'll have some real authentic Scottish goods for sale and for show at our festival every year.
Yeah, that's right, Larry. But you know, this year, like many other businesses, COVID has shut them down.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to remember them and help support our vendors who may be struggling this season because of lost festival season revenue.
You know, I don't have a mask, but Val tells me to do this, and it does the same thing. If I just do like this when I'm talking, and sometimes I don't have a spare hand, so she does it for me. She just does like kind of like this.
Hiya everybody, it's Sharon and Sean Taylor here at Taylor's Croft, Grand Junction, Colorado. Welcome to your virtual Highland Games. Sorry we can't be there, but this is the best thing. So, without further ado, let's check it out. Here is your British section with all your wee British goodies. We have our Highland Range section. We also do Celtic weapons. We have Illandonnan Castle there on the wall with your Scottish high tea area. We do fresh scones. We have in the middle here Harris Tweed bags, tartan bags, Scottish bags, household goods. This area here is our Scottish section with hats we call bunnets, and everything from tablets to coffees, clotted creams to fudges. There you have it. We have our Scottish thistle range with all your wee goodies for your house. We have our Viking section, our Downton Abbey section and Game of Thrones section. Let's move to the Outlander area. A true fact, many of you don't know this about me, that I come from Cumbernauld, Scotland, and Cumbernauld is where the Outlander Film Studios are located. So we have a vast range of Outlander products, and I'm going home in April for a wee visit. Follow me. We have our British board games, jigsaw puzzles, books, royal family, clan badges. We also have our Highland bagpipes, chanters, drumming section, and for people that want to learn, we do teach. We also have a Scottish accessory range here with belt buckles and flasks and ski and doos and kilt pins to finish your Highland wear. We also have whisky tasting courses, whisky sniffer glasses from Scotland, lots of men's flasks and gifts, quakes, iron brew. We have the beautiful new Mary Queen of Scots jewellery range, as well as the Sassenach and Outlander range, and your Scotland and Ireland sterling silver maps, necklaces. We also do the Scottish foods here, everything imported from Britain. We also have a range called the Roadkill Sporran range, and Ian Hughes makes that for us here. So you can purchase online at taylorscroft.com. You can do FaceTime shopping with a Scot, 970-201-7757, or you can just pop in and visit us when you're in Grand Junction, Colorado to Taylor's Croft. Enjoy your virtual games. Cheerio, stay safe.
Hey, Sandy, did you know that we have links to a 360-degree video of the Denver District Pipe Band? The way it works is like the pipe band stands in a circle, when they're performing. And so they put a camera right in the very middle So it's like you're standing in the middle, and you can turn it around and around and around and see all the different pipers and the drummers and everything, just like you were standing in the very middle of the performance.
Wow, that's that's about the only way that I would be able to get in the inner circle of the piping community. But hey, I understand that there are links to the 360-degree video of Denver and District that can be found on our YouTube channel. And those links can also be found on the festival webpage, scottishgames.org.
That's right.
Bagpipers around the world have been playing When the Battle's Over at sunset as a tribute to healthcare workers battling COVID-19. When the battle's over.
You know, Larry, we love our pets.
Hey, Sandy, did you know I'm allergic to pets? So I know you were going to gift me. I know how you feel about me. I know you want to give me, but don't gift me a pet. I can't do pets.
Hey, but we've got our pet projects like antique British cars.
Now, I'm not allergic to antique cars. So if you're thinking about gifting that thing, I'm just putting it out there. I can handle that. I'm not allergic to British cars.
Thank you.
Nothing alike except the grill is somewhat reminiscent of being an NGO. If you add into this, you can be under the beat. So, and then this car is reminiscent of a Lotus 7. Lotus is a Formula One racing car. It's all a place of asphalt. Very light.
I did. I had a ball.
Which of these had the wood frame? You just had the wood frame?
They got pull the brakes, they got their levers.
Hey, Sandy, did you ever see Braveheart?
Sure did.
I know you did. That's why I'm asking you, because I know you did. So I know the answer. Well, listen, man, these guys were there. They were really there. Well, not really there, but they were about as close to being there as you're ever going to get.
Now, Larry, this is as close as you'll get with the Renscotts.
Yeah.
Boy, they are really good at authenticity.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see them demonstrate spinning. and also weaving and sword fighting. So that's going to be pretty cool. I think you're going to enjoy that.
Hello, Colorado, and the Scottish community in exile. I'm Mark, weaver with the Wren Scots Living History Association. This year marks our 25th season, bringing 18th century Scottish Highland life and heritage craft to the Rocky Mountain West. In this time of global pandemic, we're especially privileged to be able to join with the Colorado St. Andrews Society in bringing you this year's 2020 Colorado Scottish Festival virtual event.
Hello, I'm Darla. I'm a spinner with the Renaissance Scots Living History Association. And right now I'm using one of the oldest tools known to man. It's called a drop spindle. This tool dates back to the Stone Age. Spinning is really just a matter of twisting the fibers together. In this case I'm using wool, but you could just as easily use other animal hair. Commonly used is alpaca. It's still used. This tool is still in use today simply because it is so versatile. I can walk around and continue to spin. My work is never stopped. This is an actual antique, about 250-year-old great wheel, generally used to spin only wool. As the wheel turns, the large wheel turns, causes the spindle to rotate fast and allows me to spin. I walk backwards for a while, and then when I'm ready to wind it onto the spindle, I walk forward.
Today I'm going to be weaving the Colorado tartan. We've had a tartan as a symbol of our state since 1998, and I've had the privilege of weaving this beautiful tartan at Celtic events for nearly 20 of those years. If you visit the Colorado Archive website, you can see the language that created this beautiful tartan in the House and Senate back in '98. I'm going to take you through the meaning of the colors in the Cliff Notes version of that. So here we have the black and green of our forests, Purple Mountain's majesties. The lyrics to America the Beautiful were written right here in Colorado from the top of Pikes Peak. Tram tracks, or train tracks, how people got here from so far away, or how the ore was brought down from the mines by rail. And if we look at the blue section, this will look familiar to you from our flag. We have the Red Sea and the gold center on our flag, together with stripes of blue. That Red Sea, when the Spanish first came through the area, they observed the color of our soil. Literally that dusky red color in Spanish, the name for that is Colorado. Gold, the mineral wealth that brought so many here. Also, how about an average 300 days of sunshine a year in our state? That's a great amount of sunshine. I think even Florida can't claim that much. And the blue of the sky, as you might see it in the high country in the evening.
You know, Sandy, I have a beautiful voice. People often tell me when I sing and play so well they can hardly stand it.
I tell you, when you get to that point where you can hardly stand it, you'll be able to click on some links here and enjoy the music of Angus Moore, and also Oren Moore. And you know, as a special treat, we've got a group from Scotland that reached out to us to be a part of our virtual festival. Their name is Really Jiggered.
Yay.
And then also we've got Highland Carlisle with an adaptation of a Dougie MacLean's version of this beautiful poem by Robert Burns. And then also Sabrina Hatter, Look to the Rainbow. Now, I understand the video quality is not what we'd like, but she does a very nice job.
Hello, I'm Dirk Mavis. I'm from the Irish band Down the Back Lane.
And our band has been bringing Irish music to this Scottish festival now for 12 years. And you know, we're the men wearing the pants at this festival. So just thought I'd mention that. But we're also going to have some music in this lineup here. And you know, I guess since this is a Scottish festival, you know, Larry and Sandy wouldn't announce us because they only announce what's Scottish, right? So, but we're gonna play some music, and be sure to check those links on the website also, and you can hear more of the music from the Back Lane Boys. All right, thanks.
Okay, and so, Waltzing Alone.
A 1 and a 2 and...
It's a very grand hall in a glorious place. The orchestra's playing to a half-empty space. Out in the lobby is a lovely lost lady. She looks so lonely in black. She's a woman whose husband was a soldier or a sailor. She's a mother with sons in harm's way. She's a sister or daughter whose brother or father is gone to a land far away. Once they'd dance and they'd sing for the joy it would bring, and the stories that one day they'd tell. Now it's a whole other thing. Her steps lost its spring. She's waltzing all by herself. She waltzes alone, no joy in her heart, feeling the cost of what she has lost. Memories of loved ones won't tarnish her fate. The memories live on through the years. Those left behind resurrect them with tales told round the fires the young ones will hear. Memories they have, they hold so dear, and the stories bring laughter and cheer. Once they'd dance and they'd sing for the joy it would bring, and this war they never would part. Now it's a whole other thing. Her steps lost its spring. She's dancing with a hole in her heart. It was just like the night at the Tennessee Waltz. Now the whole world is watching, counting the cost. She'd hoped, she'd prayed, she'd not get the news. Then a telegram came and changed that point of view. With a head full of horrors and a heart full of tears, a soul full of sorrow, eyes filled with tears, 2 hands full of courage and a mouth full of rage. A flag carefully folded, word stone that's engraved. She's paid flesh and blood and knows it's all so insane. God, please make it never happen again. Light-a-die, 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 light-a-die. She takes to the dance floor, dignity and grace, willing the lost not show on her face. She knows the worth of the soul she's cashed in, doesn't question if she's overspent. She won't speak of the waste, or mention the greed, or the bullet that cared not for race, gender, nor creed. She hopes one day we'll all think with our hearts and consider the lives torn apart. But she's fully aware through her 1,000-yard stare she's going home alone. She says a small prayer, God give him good care. She's alone no more. Light-a-die, light-a-die, light-a-die. Let's hear it for Chuck. Why don't you do better than that? We've known Chuck for a very, very long time and have a very special connection with he and his wife. And so, Chuck, thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, this is Karen and Tom Cochran. We play in the group Oren Moore, but today we're just doing our duo. We'll be doing Dougie MacLean's I Am Ready for the Storm.
There is no doubt that the lighthouse will keep shining out to warn the lonely sailor. Lightning strikes and the wind cuts through to the sailor's bones, to the sailor's soul, till there's nothing left that he can hold except the rolling ocean. And I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Ready for the storm. Oh, give me mercy for my dreams, for every confrontation seems to show me what it really means to be this lonely sailor. And when you take me by your side, you love me warm, you love me, and I should have realized I had no reason to be frightened. And I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Ready for the storm. Distance is no real friend. Time will take its time. You will find that in the end it brings you me, the lonely sailor. And when the sky begins to clear, the sun it melts away my fear. I'll cry a silent weary tear for those that need to love me. And I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Ready for the storm.
that ere I had, I spent it in good company, and of all the harm that ere I've done, alas, it was to none but me.
Let's have a big round of applause for Mike and Matt. That's some hard stuff.
Scones were hay with waller split. Scones swim bruises often led. Welcome to your gory bed. Oh, to victory. Now's the day and now's the hour. See the front of battle hour. See approach proud Edward's power. Chains and slavery. Name walk and fill a coward's grave. Was a base as be a slave. Let him turn and flee. War for Scotland's King and law, freedom's sword will strongly draw. Free man stand, or free man fall. Let him follow me. Oppressions, woes and pains, by your sons in servile chains, we will drain our dearest veins, but they shall be free. Lay the proud usurpers low, tyrants fall in every foe, liberties in every blow. Let us do a deed. Scorns were hate as warless blend. Scorns swam bruises often led. Welcome to your gory bed. Oh, to victory.
Here's Look to the Rainbow from the musical Finnegan's Rainbow. On the day I was born, said me father, said he, I've an elegant legacy waiting for ye. 'Tis a rhyme for your lips and a song for your heart, to sing it whenever
the world falls apart. Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow. Follow the fellow who follows a dream. 'Twas a sumptuous gift to be queen to a child. Oh, the lure of that song kept my feet roaming wild. For you never grow old, and you never stand still, with a whippoorwill singing just over the hill. So I bundled me hat and I roamed the world free, to the east with the lark, to the west with the sea. And I searched all the earth and I scanned all the sky, till I found it at last in my own true love's eye. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow it over the hill and stream. Look, look, look to the rainbow, follow the fellow who follows a dream. Follow the fellow, follow the fellow, follow the fellow who follows a dream.
So now we're going to play a couple of marches for you. First one's a Scottish march. It has a couple of names. The 76th Regiment's Farewell to Aberdeen. That's a very Scottish name. I like the other one better though. It's the Wee Lad's Lament for His Pet Dragon.
can look back on some gems from the CFS Colorado Scottish Festival History Vault. Now, our festival sure has come a long way. Now, who would have thought 57 years ago that one day we'd be here on the internet?
Yeah, hey, Sandy. I mean, this is virtual. So if it's virtual, are we really here? I mean, exactly what is the internet? I mean, when Mrs. Brown called roll in the second grade, after second grade recess, and I didn't answer, that was real because I wasn't really there, even though I was virtually there, because actually I was sitting in the principal's office. But I mean, Sandy, what is reality, Sandy? What is really reality? What does this virtual thing really mean? I mean, can you bring it to me? Bring it home to me, man.
Well, I think for reality, there is actually a history of the Colorado Scottish Festival. And John Thornton will narrate over the history of the Scottish Festival with some old images and videos and that John has actually from an old VHS of the 1995 games. So,
you know, he's an old guy, so he can do that. He's very old. John is very old. He's very old.
I'd like to bring back to the beginning of the games and how it started many, many years ago. In 1964, a bunch of people in the St. Andrew Society had this wonderful idea. Let's have a picnic. And places were limited, so they chose Newton Park and Conifer. They had it, and they advertised with a mimeograph sheet, bring a hamper, lunch, and other goodies. And of course, as being a Scottish organization, other goodies refer to the alcoholic component, which I understand there was a lot around at there. They surprised themselves. They had about 175 people. So they decided they could continue this, and they continued these as picnics, family picnics, up through 1973. Now, they were Scots, so it took them a while to get around to it, but finally in 1971 they offered free beer. And when they did that, the attendance doubled. In 1974, they made a big jump. They decided they were going to take this public, and they enticed the School of Mines to host the games. The games were hosted at Brooks Field, which is their athletic field in Golden. They had a wonderful time. The marketing slogan for 1974, that first year at Golden, was "Dads can compete, moms can stand by and drink beer." And everybody had a wonderful time. All the traditional Scottish activities, the heavy events, caber tossing, stone throw, bale tossing, and so forth, and Highland dancing, and of course bagpipes. We continued the games at Golden, the first one being August 17th, 1974. We named it a new name at the time. We called it the Rocky Mountain Highland Games. We kept that for many, many years. The games were held in the stadium. The admission fee was really affordable. It was $2. So you could get in at $2. And that first year, the games attracted about 2,500 people. So from 1974, they continued to 1988 to when we outgrew Brooks Field. And I mean outgrew it in many ways. First of all, our games were just prior to the football season, and we left the field in terrible shape. A 140-pound caber leaves quite a dent in the ground, and the poor football players did not like tripping in these holes. So in 1989, we made a shift to Highlands Ranch. Highlands Ranch was just beginning. We moved there, and we stayed there for the next 26 years. We used to do all the setup ourselves, all with volunteers. Everybody would show up on Friday night and set up all the tents, do all the cooking and everything else. But the games became too big. We started to attract audiences, weekend audiences of 8,000 or more people. We actually got as high as 14,000 people a few times. It was quite too much for a total volunteer organization, so we hired contractors to do the food preparation and selling, and to do the tent setup and so forth, which took a lot of pressure off the moms and pops. Nevertheless, the games were put on by an all-volunteer committee. Nobody in the game ever got paid for their labors. If we were lucky, we got our expenses reimbursed. Once a year, people would come out, spend Friday and Saturday coming up to speed, and by Sunday morning, we were as good as anybody in the nation at putting up and running a festival. And then we'd take a sabbatical for another year and do it again. We had internationally known judges. We had internationally known entertainment. We had people come to compete from all over the British Isles and Australia and other English-speaking countries. We had awards that were internationally known. Our Sword of the Rockies for Highland dancing and our Silver Chanter for bagpiping are still known and talked about. But rising costs finally started to creep up on us. The county wanted to increase the field rental beyond that which we could afford, and we were fighting so many different permitting processes and licensing and so forth. It became very, very difficult. We were about to pack up the games and wondering where we were going to go next when Snowmass popped up. Snowmass has the reputation of being the highest games in the United States, if not the world. For 3 years, we had a fairly successful, if oxygen-starved, environment for the games. But our goal is to be back in the Denver area once again. That's our home, and that's where most of our people are, and so we wanted to come back. At this point, though, I would like to introduce Susan, my wife, who's going to tell you a little bit about a very special committee member, Nessie.
The festival's most famous mascot. In 2006, a group of creative people from the festivals, all volunteers, got together and built Nessie. Nessie was built out of chicken wire and paper mache, and she floated on a flatbed that was made to look like the Loch Ness. And understand that during the making of Nessie, quite a bit of single malt was consumed, which probably led to the appearance that she had. But anyway, we took her to festivals and parades all over, and she even had her own Facebook page. She was so popular that people called Douglas County before the festival and would ask, is Nessie going to be there? So she was rebuilt several times, but unfortunately, after a number of years being exposed to the weather, etc., she had to be retired, but she's still a fond memory for many of us.
The Games has a lot to be proud of. We're an all-volunteer run organization. The Games Committee is here for the foreseeable future, as are the Games. We moved back to Edgewater in 2017. The Games came back under Heather Mueller as Games Marshal, did a fabulous job of relocating. So over the years, the St. Andrews Society has produced a world-class event. It's one to be proud of. So enjoy the weekend, even virtually, and everybody keep safe.
Well, hey, we encourage everyone to go to our website and explore our virtual festival. You can click around the map and pull up the videos, pictures, and activities from across the festival. Stay tuned for a cooking class with Chef McBride and to watch last year's midday ceremony. And for those who signed up, don't forget to sign in to the Zoom whiskey tasting at 2 o'clock. With me mixing things up there, I think I might have started already.
Wait. Whiskey take. We're having whiskey? Nobody told me about whiskey. Where's my virtual flask? Are we getting paid for this, by the way?
Hey, I understand we're going to get paid 5 times as much as last year.
Awesome.
Oh. What's that song? Nothing from nothing is nothing? Oh, well.
That's right, man.
Nothing times nothing is nothing.
That's the end of it, isn't it?
I think that's the end of the script. I don't know if there's any other further cut up that we can do, but I did have a public service announcement though, and that is that, last year we had a piper left the window open on their car with their pipe sitting in the back seat. I tell you, a sad thing happened. Went back to his car and found 5 more sets of pipes.